Nova Scotia, a province known for its rugged beauty, unpredictable weather, and more coastline than most countries. And way up here in the northeast corner, Cape Breton Island. Or is it? Technically, yes, it's an island. There's water separating it from the mainland, but it also has a causeway, a nice solid drivable stretch of road that makes the whole island thing feel a little debatable. Honestly, calling this an island feels more like a technicality. There's no ferry, no dramatic border to cross, no sudden change in atmosphere, just a road, a bridge, and a brief moment where you might not even realize you left the mainland. But this patch of land has a story of its own. Cape Breton has been home to the Mi'kmaq people for thousands of years. Then came the French, who called it Ile Royale. The British took it, the French took it back, then the British took it again. And somewhere in there they tried making it its own colony, before eventually gluing it back onto Nova Scotia, at least administratively. Cape Breton is a blend of cultures, Mi'kmaq, Acadian, Scottish, and Irish, each with its own deep roots and lasting presence. You'll see it in the language on the road signs, the music coming out of community halls, the food traditions passed down through generations, and the pride people take in where they come from. It's not one culture, it's many, layered side by side, each adding something to the island's identity. This isn't a flying episode, and to be honest, I've never really made a video like this before. We weren't filming with a plan in mind, we were just exploring, taking in the scenery, and trying not to miss any corners. But Cape Breton is a part of this journey, and even if this video is a little rough around the edges, I feel like it was a significant part of the Wings Across Canada story, and I didn't want to leave it out. So, island, mainland, or something in between, Cape Breton Island's a place you don't just pass through, you experience it. And that's exactly what we're going to do.
Well, there's a nice knowing you. Yeah, thanks. We'll put the camera away. The evidence.
Running the Cape Trail. Running the Cape Trail. Why did I do that?
As we follow the southern stretch of Cape Breton's west coast, it's a mix of gentle rolling hills and steep cliffs dropping straight to the ocean. The rock here is mostly shale and sandstone, old sedimentary layers carved out by centuries of wind and waves. It's an absolutely stunning coastline, but it's really surprising to me how close these homes are to the highway. Where I'm from out west, people tend to build much further back away from the road. As the day winds down, we arrive in the town of Chéticamp. Tonight we're stepping a little outside our usual rhythm. Instead of cooking for ourselves, we grab dinner at a harborside restaurant, just in time for a beautiful Cape Breton sunset. While we've been staying comfortably in the bunkhouse back in Stanley, this 3-day side trip marks a shift. We'll be staying in hotels for the very first time since this whole adventure began. Yeah, so here we are in Chéticamp. Yesterday we drove up from Stanley to Chéticamp along the Cape Trail, and we're staying at this cool little motel here called the Cornerstone. And this is at the park entrance to the national park that's on the Cape Breton Island. So we're going to spend today driving through there and see what that's all about. We'll try and take some video along the way. Nice little picnic area in here. It's supposedly a river down here. What does the Doves Community Center mean to you guys? Hello! This is the Food Boss Operation Headquarters here. This is where all the magic happens. Feeding the entire expedition. Out of 2 coolers. As we make our way into the Highlands National Park, we pull over at a few spots to take in the view. And it hits me. Back home in the West, seeing someone in a boat usually means they're out for fun. But here, it's different. Out here, a boat usually means someone's at work. It's not recreation, it's livelihood. Skyline Trail is one of the most iconic hikes in Cape Breton, and it doesn't take long to see why. It begins as a wide, well-maintained path through a quiet mix of forest and windswept highlands. It's the kind of trail that makes you feel like you're covering ground without much effort, just a gentle downhill slope that you barely notice as you walk. Eventually, the trees give way to open views, and the path leads you to a long wooden boardwalk perched high above the ocean. The coastline stretches out in every direction, with cliffs dropping sharply into the waves and the Cape Trail winding far below. It's peaceful, it's dramatic, and it makes you want to just stand there and take it all in. And then there's the walk back. That slow, steady downhill you barely noticed on the way out. It's not so subtle on the return. The trail starts to feel longer, the slope steeper, and suddenly, it's not such an easy stroll anymore.
Just wanted to make sure you girls are safe.
Oh, thanks. All right.
I had to stop my little jog here.
But honestly, it's all part of the experience. That shift from easy to effortful gives the trail a kind of honesty. The Skyline Trail doesn't just offer a view, it gives you a story to carry with you. A bit of effort, a few laughs, and one more reminder that this journey across Canada isn't just about distance. It's about the moments that slow you down, make you look around, and leave you just a little different than when you started. At the end of day 2, we arrive in Sydney and manage to find a beautiful spot right on the waterfront, just in time to catch a glowing sunset over the harbour. It's by far the nicest place we've stayed since the journey began, and after a comfortable night's rest, we wake early to a calm, peaceful morning. The harbour is still, the air is quiet, and we take some time to walk along the water and soak it all in. It's hard to believe that this same place can feel so different when a cruise ship docks and thousands of passengers pour onto the waterfront. But this morning, it's just us, the harbour, and a rare moment of stillness along the edge of the Atlantic. Sydney Harbour has been a part of Cape Breton's story for more than 2 centuries. Once a key hub for coal and steel, it helped fuel the growth of Atlantic Canada. Its deep, sheltered waters made an ideal port, and you can still feel the weight of that history as you walk along the shoreline, where industry, nature, and time all meet. Our next stop is Baddeck, home to the Alexander Graham Bell National Historic Site. Bell is famous for inventing the telephone, but here we learned about his passion for flight. In 1907, he founded the Aerial Experiment Association, an international team that built the Silver Dart, the the first powered aircraft to fly in Canada. It's a fascinating piece of aviation history and a perfect fit for the Wings Across Canada journey. On our way back to Stanley from Baddeck, we made a quick detour through Truro to check out Joseph Howe Falls. It's a peaceful little spot tucked into Victoria Park, just a short hike through the woods. The trail winds past mossy trees and bubbling streams before opening up to a beautiful cascade tucked into a rocky ravine. It's not a long hike, but it's the kind of place that feels like a quiet reward. Easy to miss if you're in a hurry, but well worth the stop. Thanks for joining us. It means a lot to have you along for the journey, whether we're in the air or on the road. We loved exploring Cape Breton, and sharing it with you has made it even more memorable. In our next episode, we fire up the engines and once again take flight. So where are we headed? Newfoundland. I'll be honest, this leg has me a little nervous. We'll be flying over a 75-mile stretch of open Atlantic in a single-engine plane with an engine that's nearly timed out. Our route takes us directly over Cape Breton Island, giving us one last look from the air at many of the places we just explored on the ground. We'll even see the world-famous Cabot Cliffs golf course. And when we reach Newfoundland, we're shocked and amazed by just how beautiful it is. Truly a place that took us by surprise. So don't miss it. Hit like, subscribe, and tap that little notification bell so you know when the next leg of Wings Across Canada is ready for takeoff. Until then, keep your eyes on the horizon and your spirits high.